Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. If you guys look down in the bottom left, I'll probably zoom it in. You can see that I am Logicless is a super mod of this game, Flight. I'll probably show some footage on screen right now, but Flight is a game with a funny aspect where you throw a paper plane throughout the world. You can fly a plane through London, which will be shown on screen right now, Paris, which you'll now see, Egypt, which you'll again now see, Southwest Africa, which you again will now see, and Japan. The goal of the game is to try and get to Japan and end the run for this category any percent. Okay, so now we're on the Flight main menu screen, which pretty much just showcases just the game. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt the video, but in the video I didn't show the beginning main theme soundtrack to the game. And they've got a soundtrack throughout the game, but this theme is beautiful. You gotta listen. It's so raw and like magical. Honestly, I gotta sit here for hours listening to it. It's insane. Okay. I might leave that to the outro, but yeah, that's practically the theme. It just sounds really nice. Alright, let's continue on with the video. Because of the Flash end of life changes, it seems that they don't have it on the App Store anymore. I checked, it's pretty sad, but they probably just didn't continue development in this game because they weren't making enough money, but it's glad that it's archived now in the Flash records. So, to start off the game, obviously you want to click New Game, select a slot, and skip the cutscene. Because, boys, we are speedrunners. We don't need to look at these cutscenes, right? So, the basis of it is pick up the plane and throw it. I threw that really fast, so we hit a star already, which is when you're going through the atmosphere, there are different stars that you can collect, and they give you money. Alright, so let's click spacebar, and we'll keep continuing through. It'll let our plane fall to the ground, and yeah, that just pretty much just ends that, right? So once you do your first throw, it'll give you a breakdown. It'll say you've collected 6 stars. Well, for me, I've collected 6 stars, which is giving us $30. We've traveled a distance of 46.68 meters, which doesn't really matter, they round it off. It's given us $18 and a bonus for our throw. We've got an additional $56. We will click next, and it'll locate meters onto London. Which is how we progress through the different parts of the world. Okay, now that we see here, we've got a upgrade section for our plane, which is a really big part of the speedrun, and a really big part of our game. As you see here, it just has a bunch of upgrades. It has 15, and I'll just quickly go through a couple of them. I'll just give examples. If you really want to go through all of them, you can play the game. We've got better model, which changes the model of the plane, which changes throughout the game. We've got lightweight, which allows our plane to become lighter and fall slower. It allows us to, retain our speed when throwing our plane for aerodynamic. Rudder control allows you to control your plane. Throwing power, which pretty much just strengthens it when you throw your plane by 10% and goes up, because these aren't just first upgrades, you can keep upgrading them throughout the game. And then we've also got fire engine, which allows us to hold spacebar to activate an engine, right? So we'll just get aerodynamic and click play again and throw our plane. As you see here, we've just hit a crane, which is another object in the atmosphere, which gives you a multiplier on the next stars that you hit throughout the game, which pretty much just allows it at 2 times. So if we hit another star here, which we will not, but it would have given us $10 per star because it's giving us a 2 times crane bonus. Here we go, we progress some more distance into London, and we'll just buy another upgrade. As you see on the left side of the screen, we've got a windmill. I could show you the screen when you first hit it, but I'll show you some footage instead of live footage, and it's practically just hitting it and then flying up in the air. And it just provides a nice boost. So yeah, so here'll be some footage of my world record of me just like hitting them throughout the end of the run. So here I'm going to buy rudder control, which allows us to have fuel in the bottom left of the screen, and allow us to, sort of like control our plane. Okay, we'll buy the fire engine, I guess, which allows us to boost our plane and stuff. So yeah, it just tells us that we can do that. Okay, so here we're going to buy a better model, and we'll just get throwing power, but better model changes our plane, as you can see in the top left. And now when we throw our plane, so I just bought the better model. Sorry, I just had a really crap throw, so I'm just going to redo this. I've got a better model and got a throwing power ability, and now our plane looks a lot different to the beginning. right? So when we throw our plane, it just looks a little different. It's going to give us 2 fuel in the bottom left, and we're going to go through. So here, I'm going to pick up a Starstruck. So what a Starstruck does is it speeds up your plane and provides, like it straightens your plane out. So say you're going down like that, if you hit a Starstruck, it will straighten it out, and it will give you more speed, which is really helpful, and just really looks nice when you eventually hit it. So yeah, so in the speedrun, you'll practically just want to do that. You want to keep hitting off the windmill like I showed you in clips before, and just keep progressing closer to leaving London. We'll just buy green fuel, which reduces our fuel consumption, and we'll just get Lucky Star, which adds more. It has a 2% chance to add more Lucky Stars into the map, which we will probably see soon, but 2% really isn't a lot. You know, we'll just keep going through, we'll boost through, and practically just, you know, end out London, and I'll show you guys when we leave London. Okay, I believe this will now get us out of London. There you go. It'll level us up. It'll give us another cutscene, but we're speedrunners, guys. We like to skip them. And now we are in Paris. Paris is the 2nd level in the game, and just it changes the atmosphere and adds a couple of touches, which I'll show you now. So I'll throw our plane like normal, and as you can see, the atmosphere has changed. A little more night, and pretty much just gives off that that vibe of Paris. As you guys see now, it's tweaked a new thing into the game, which is called the Winds of Destiny. When your plane rocks up and down, it means that there is blowing in the wind, which if I know how to read, which I'll explain to you in me words, when you get lower, so now I'll showcase pretty much the Winds of Destiny like I explained before. So when you go lower, if you focus on the altitude, I'll go up and down in the wind. I'm trying not to control it. As you can see, it's just changing. You see it just went down there really drastically. So pretty much that's just the game mechanic. See, I've just gone down, I've gone up. It's a little, when you play, you'll see that it's out of control. But yeah, that's pretty much what Winds of Destiny means. So for Paris, that's all that really changes it. The windmills on the floor have different distances between now, because they're expecting that your plane will be a little faster now and won't need them so close like you would need in London. I think I'm going to end my explanation on this game, because the video was meant to be more targeted at something else, but yeah, this is practically the game. I've showcased you pretty much everything of the game. There's upgrades, you throw the plane, you go through the locations, you want to get a certain distance to get out, you want to upgrade, and yeah, that's pretty much the game. So I was thinking this idea on the spot when I was making heaps of changes to the flight website, and I kind of just wanted to show you guys, showcase you some of the changes I've made as a moderator on flight. I can show you what has been changed. So if you see in the top, I've added an image which says speedrun.com with a relative font to the font on the flight screen here. It just is the plane, the maxed out plane, and saying speedrun.com, because that's what's required. If you want to add an image up in the top left, you have to make it say speedrun.com. It is a little small, and I'll probably try and figure out how to change that, but for now that's how it is. We added a cover photo, which is pretty much just the flight logo, the best one I could find. Then I've got the background here, which pretty much is just this creamy, whitey color of the atmosphere, which I will probably over time, when I get bored of this current London cream feeling, I'll probably change it to the Paris night, and just the different levels of different atmospheres, and change around the level color just to spice things up a little bit. And then I've made levels here, some flight levels for London, Paris, Egypt, Southwest Africa, and Japan. So here we've just got some runs from me, Primavera, and Chris Swift, I would assume his name to be. He doesn't have an I in Swift. But yeah. The reason, if we go back to level leaderboard, the reason that there isn't runs in Paris, Egypt, Southwest Africa, and Japan is because on the forum, I made a new change to individual levels, because how distance works in flight is that distance transitions. So say you literally ran from Paris to, from London to Paris, right? You would see that you would actually, if you ran, you'd get distance into Paris, if you get what I mean. So I've made so you cannot exceed for different amounts of meters when transitioning from London to Paris, which would be 100, then 200, 300, and then 400. So I pretty much just had to delete a bunch of runs from me and a couple of others, which practically just went over this rule. That will be a rule that is enforced. Another thing stated on the forum is people needing some help with the emulator, and people being confused at why, how to play the game. So I pretty much replied to them and told them to go to the resources tab on the side of Flight, which I recently added some tools saying Blue Maximus Flashpoint, which is the program that I use to emulate Flight. So here's pretty much the Flashpoint launcher here, which just has heaps of games. Wait, I'll take off the Flight tab. It has 70,000 to 90,000 different archived games from different websites like Armored Games, Newgrounds, even some stuff from like DeviantArt, and just a bunch of different websites which have different games, and they've got their own playlists on the side. So if you buy different players in the community, which you can just choose. But yeah, it's just got amazing games here, which you can pretty much, which have been archived and now you can play. So that's pretty much just the brink of Flight. I've added categories, I've made a level leaderboard, and soon enough, we're going to add 100%. So we're going to add an 100% category and a low percent category. And 100% category will be, obviously, completed the game to its fullest extent. Completing the game, getting all the achievements, and getting all of the upgrades. I'll be making that soon, and I'll also be adding a low percent speedrun, which will be completing the game in the least amount of days. The reason that runners have showed up, because I haven't advertised Flight whatsoever. I've spoken to Primavera on I've messaged him, but pretty much shown here, I had a 200 view video from my world record, and pretty much it's just been getting heaps of views over time. And if you look at my old videos on my older videos on my channel, you can see that they don't even reach 100, or at least at this current date, they do not reach 100. So it's pretty crazy, and it's just updating like wildfire, just getting views all the time. Literally just got a view right then and there, and it's becoming something. Like people are viewing this video and seeing this. So yeah, I'm really excited to see where Flight is headed for the future. If you want to speedrun Flight, go ahead, alright? This game, literally, it only has 3 current runners, and if we look on the forum, there's probably going to be about 5 new ones when they see that I've added them and told them where to go to understand how to run the game. So this has been a brief explanation on what it's like being a mod on this game. This will be really fun, and I'm really excited to see where the changes go with Flight. So if you want to speedrun Flight, go at it. Seriously, there's no runners, and if you want a little thing next to your name, if you want on your profile, like as you can see for my profile, if you want to see a little badge to show that you were first, second, third, fourth, or whatever you go at, or wherever you try to grind for Flight, it's free reign for you. And it's obviously exciting to see that you could be a high rank on this game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've pretty much just explained Flight, told you what it's about, and yeah, just shown you that it has speedrunning potential and can be an exciting game to play. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.